Welcome, Solarah here. I hope you guys are doing well today. I hope you're looking after yourselves in this eclipse window. I hope that you are staying hydrated, you're protecting your energy, grounding yourself and all of that beautiful stuff. I'm just going to do a regular reading tonight. I do have a lot of downloads, but you know, sometimes the easiest way for me to organize the flow of energy is to just do readings. So for now, I'm going to do that, especially because in this window, this eclipse window, it's just intense. It's intense. Y'all know. So welcome if you're visiting for the first time. Welcome if you are a returning visitor. Welcome if you are a subscriber. Welcome if you've been here from the beginning, if you joined somewhere along the way. Let's get into these energies tonight. Thank you to those of you who've been joining me over on Substack. It is such a treat to be writing again. I did not realize how much I would miss it, taking a couple of months off, but it's good. It's I thank you for your support. And the opportunity even for me to be able to express my gifts through that medium. So thank you for your support. Winged Seer, you see clearly, clairvoyance. You see clearly, clairvoyance, Winged Seer, number 12. Something else came out. I'm going to wait for a minute. I just want to kind of meditate on this energy for a second. So if you've been vibing with me in the last couple of videos, just in the past week or so, you'll know that or even, you know, if you've been reading some of the Substack content, you'll know that I've been kind of musing and speaking about this Hanged Man energy, right? So the Hanged Man card in the Major Arcana, it's the number 12 card, and it's the card that sits between justice and death. And justice is the main card of Libra in the Major Arcana, and death is the main card of Scorpio in the Major Arcana. And so my guides had me doing this this tarot study. Every now and again they will charge me to start to look at the tarot in different ways. And so for those of you who are interested in how they had me do this, or you want to do this for yourself, because it's interesting, see what you pick up if you're into reading tarot. They had me line up the Major Arcana cards from 0 to 10 and to put them all on the ground or on a large surface, and then to put into order all of the suits. So the Ace to the 10 of Wands, and then the Court cards. The Ace to the 10 of Swords, and then the Court cards. The Ace to the 10 of Cups, and the Court cards. The Ace to the 10 of Pentacles, and then the Court cards. Because that's how energy flows. From the Wands to the Swords to the Cups to the Pentacles. From spirit to the mental planes to the emotional planes, and the sublimation of that is what becomes material, Pentacles. And then they had me place the other final cards of the Major Arcana, the 11 through 21, at the bottom of all of that. And they wanted me, very specifically, they said, to get more like of a bird's eye view and to understand and overstand that the Major Arcana, the order of the cards, shows how the zodiac wheel moves through energy, but it also shows you how there are certain breaks within energy that have an underlying theme that's connected to another planet. So if you read tarot, you probably will get what I mean by that. So the fact that the Justice and the Scorpio cards in the tarot are next to each other, Libra, Scorpio, like they are in the wheel, but there's this Hanged Man energy in the split, is a key to showing me, or showing us, that there is a Neptunian energy that connects. You could even call it a Neptunian portal. That's how they were showing it to me. And what are the energies of Neptune? Well, when depicted through the Hanged Man, the Neptunian energy, as my guides have taught me, like one of the facets, is that it's what helps you to see things as they truly are. So The matrix is an inversion of truth. Everything is the other way around. The hanged man energy, when he puts himself voluntarily in that place, he's doing so because he realizes that if he turns himself upside down, he's going to start seeing shit the way it really is. But the hanged man energy can also speak of things being flipped around. Also, it can mean a few things. So they were showing me how through this window between Libra and Scorpio season, there's a powerful Neptunian axis point. You can almost call it a gate, because they've been showing me also like gateway system, how our light bodies operate through a gateway system that connects with the gateway systems in the cosmos, etc. And you could almost say that the Libra Scorpio the Libra Scorpio, the bridge between those energies is like Neptunian in nature. So, depending on where you are in terms of your own calibration back into your divine truth, your mental and your emotional fields, which is what Libra season is here to help us do, is how much things are going to be flipped for you, or you're going to be able to utilize the power of those Neptunian energies to your advantage, so that come Scorpio season, you know what you need to put aside in order to rise like the phoenix. You know, in other words, what energies within and without have been causing you to stay out of alignment, stay in energies where you're at war with self, stay in energies where your mental and your emotional fields are not in a state of peace. I hope that makes sense. So when we go through this like hanged man energy and we come through to Scorpio season is the season where, you know, Scorpio energy, in my opinion, is the detective of the zodiac. Scorpio and Virgo energies are the detectives of the zodiac, and they work together. You know, they're very much connected, hence the reason why they have the same, you know, kind of glyph, but they work in different ways. So the Virgo energy helps you to detect like mental aberrations, detect where your thought processes aren't in alignment with your truth and who you are. Scorpio season helps you to delve deep into your subconscious and your shadow, but Scorpio energy also helps us to connect with what is hidden beneath the surface. So all through today and yesterday too, I think it was, I keep on hearing, everything is not as it seems. Everything is not as it seems. It's really important that you hold on right now to remembering that everything is not as it seems. Because here's the thing about the Neptunian energy, when you're speaking about the hanged man also, Neptunian energy, while it can free you of illusions when you're able to hang yourself upside down and see it, Neptunian energy can also be the master of illusion when you are not able to walk, when you're not able to see past certain lies, and the lies that you have to see past in order to get out of the state of illusion are less about the lies outside of you and more about the lies that you still believe about yourself that keep you out of your power. Hope that makes sense. So Scorpio energy is also, it does so many things. It is here to help you connect to your supernatural abilities. Okay? And you cannot connect to your supernatural abilities if you don't surrender the natural ones that must die because they have kept you playing small. So, to come back to the cards, because the reason I'm going there is because of the number 12 here. in the Winged Seer. And not for nothing also, the reading I did yesterday, I talked about this energy of angels and the angelic DNA activations that are coming online. And I also spoke very specifically about this energy of a being who had the eyes of their body being activated. So, and I referenced, the book of Isaiah, where it speaks about these angels and how people have depicted them having many, many eyes. Like, angels are not these like fluffy little characters with wings. They are like, some of them are, grand warriors, but some of them, look like nothing you would ever imagine an angel would look like. And some of you have eyes like all over yourself, like all over your field, in all manner of places. And through this gateway, they're wanting to be activated. But it's almost like the way you activate that, I don't know what to call it, that extra vision. I don't know what to call it. It's like the way let's call it your angelic vision codes. I don't know. The way you access these angelic vision codes, which open the multiple eyes that you have in your fields. And I was getting a download and a vision of this a few days ago, and I was seeing many, many eyes. Okay? The way that you open yourself to that is by trusting already what it is that you're being shown, what you see. So, for example, the fact that I had this vision the other day, in my natural reality, meaning what I've been told is possible in the Matrix, that kind of vision would freak me out and make me think there's something maybe wrong with me. But I know there's nothing wrong with me. I know because I know that in the position of the hanged man, where I'm looking at the world the way it actually is, as opposed to how I was programmed to perceive it, that all manner of beings exist and all manner of abilities are possible, and that we actually have been programmed out of our ability to be superhuman by way of these programs, by way of how we were conditioned to think small. Now, if I continue down that trajectory of choosing to believe what it is that I'm being shown divinely, as opposed to what it is that the programs want to tell me is possible, then I probably will be able to access higher levels of what those energies that I'm seeing can open me up to. So, for example, if this is you, maybe what wants to come online right now are very high levels of clairvoyance. Maybe you have X-ray vision. I don't know what the possibilities are. I don't know. I know that it's definitely a huge upgrade in how it is you're able to discern energy, and it has a visual component. That's what I know. And what I also know is that we are in a window where our supernatural abilities are wanting to come back online. But in order for them to do that, in order for that to happen, we have to accept the possibility of things about ourselves that we've been told are impossible. So, to bring it back to the cards, you see clearly clairvoyance. I feel like there's something that maybe you're being shown about yourself that you're doubting. And you're doubting it because of your programming. But here's the thing, you're doubting it because of the very programming that the Scorpio portal wants you, this aspect of programming, I should say, that this Scorpio portal is begging you to bring to death, to put to death. Pink Lotus Fairy, a time for spirit. There's some kind of integration that's happening. And it's like, and I was picking up on this energy today when I was writing I was writing my article for Substack, and you know, for those of you who don't vibe with reading, like, and you prefer, you're more audio learners, I did for today's article, and I think Tuesday's article or Wednesday's article, I did do audio versions if you prefer to hear the message or hear the article instead of reading it. So you can do that for what I'm about to talk about now, if that's more your thing, is on the community board. But there is this energy of masculine energy rising. I didn't get into the article about that facet per se. I didn't explore it to, you know, very fully, like this divine masculine energy rising, but it is. But it's a masculine energy that's rising on the heels of the risen feminine. And we already can, you know, feel that sense that it's been something that's been happening over the past couple of years, but it feels like it's coming to life. And I started this reading before, and I was getting very frustrated with the messages that were coming through, because it was just like, oh, you're making me dig too fucking deep, and I'm kind of tired, and I know I want to, you know, like, I know I want to channel, because I know that I need to channel. I need to dive into these energies so that I can clear my channel also. Like, I know this, but at the same time, it's just like, come on, guys, like, give me the message a little bit more easily, because there were so many pieces. But I say all of that because there was a message that was coming through in the other reading that I began and I got frustrated with. And it was talking about some kind of like divine connection. But it was like talking about it almost like it was in a fragmented state. And when I say divine connection, I mean, this can be romantic, platonic, and it really can also just be internal. The marriage of your own inner masculine and feminine energies. This is something that Libra season was here to help us do, to bring back together dual aspects of self into the oneness field. That's what Libra energy is here to facilitate. So it's almost like what I'm getting here is that there is something that is wanting to be properly, it's not even integrated, it's deeper than that. It's like sublimated into oneness within you or within a situation. And that's what's going to ultimately connect you to this this higher dimensional, multi-dimensional way of being and living. It's going to give you access to something, but it's almost like you can only access it through the oneness field, is what I'm getting. And there's something here where you're being guided to be aware of this, because there are things that are going to be being shown to you, or there are things that are being shown to you that might seem so out of the realms of the norm and the natural, that the temptation is going to be to dismiss it as not being possible. But when you dismiss it as not being possible at this stage of the game, you are literally dismissing a part of yourself and therefore catering to being fragmented again. I know this is complicated, and I hope I'm making sense, because this message is for somebody, because literally it won't leave me alone right now. This message won't leave me alone. So, where should I go? Let's go to the tarot and see. definitely to do with light body, moving forward with light body, because the 4 plus the 3 of this, 43, that's a 7, that's chariot energy. This is, like I said, this is the sublimation, the consummation of something energetically. It's the consummation that makes it possible for you to access a gate. Is what makes it possible for you to access a certain gate or a gateway system. I'm not ready, but that was the Knight of Coins and the Magician. I'm going to do a Knight of Coins and the Magician. Let's fix for Virgo energy. The Emperor, masculine energy, rising. So in today, the reason I was mentioning today's article was because I kept on hearing, as I sat down to write Daily Alchemy earlier, I kept on hearing once upon a time we were kings. And at first, I'm in this mood today where I keep on like resisting things. And at first I began to resist the energy because I'm just like, once upon a time we were kings, really? I was just like, weren't we queens too? And they were just like, no, just go with it. Just go with it. So I did. And as I began to write, it started to unfurl why the message was coming out the way it was, because, excuse me, my guides were literally pointing me back to the idea of a king, not as just as a person, but as an energy. And so in the tarot, in order to get to the place of being a king, you have to go through the entirety of the suit, and then you have to be initiated through the energy of the queen. You can't become a king without first going through the energy of the page, knight, but the queen is the final stop until you get to the king. Okay, and there's a lot of reasons as to why that is. It is like where the secrets, many of the secrets are held within the queen energy. It's the divine mother, it's the womb. But they were taking me through that to let me see that we are going through this process where we are mastering certain energies. So we're in this place of emotional mastery through this, not only through the scorpionic window, but also through where we are in ascension. In other words, we are in the waters right now, and the next stop, like I was saying to you, it's spirit, mental planes, emotional planes, and everything is birthed through the emotional planes. Everything is birthed through water. Okay, through the element of water. And right now we're mastering water. We're mastering emotions. And as we master that, you master emotions as an individual through your ability to heal and follow your own internal guidance, because you're back in harmony with your heart's truth, your soul's truth, and you've recalibrated your energy and your solar plexus back into alignment with that. And so you're no longer being externally commanded. Your energy is no longer being outsourced, because you are in this emperor. You are in the Aries energy, the emperor energy of having taken back your throne and made yourself Godhead over your own energy field, as was always intended. So the fact that this emperor energy, then we have the Hierophant below, the fact that this emperor energy is showing up here is interesting to me. Let's see what actually came out. So the overarching theme, 7 of Wands. This is Leo energy, 3rd decan of Leo. This is all about protecting oneself. But it's more than just protecting oneself. It's protecting your prize. But it's not just protecting your prize, it's protecting the sun, your what's it called? I was going to say your internal sun, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Your own central sun. Your solar plexus is your central sun. Yes, so the Seven of Wands is after the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is the card of victory, where, you know, as I was telling you guys during Leo season, it's less about people clapping for you here on the ground, and it's more about the great congregation of witnesses that are here invisibly, that help you back into your power and your light. They're the ones that are helping you, that are clapping because you've arrived. And so after you've arrived, in the sense of the recovery of your light, your sun, then the Seven of Wands comes, and it's just like, okay, so now you have to learn how to protect yourself. And that's where the Virgo energy then begins to tutor you on how to utilize the power of your light, the power of your life force, because the light, the sun, central sun, solar plexus is connected to your life force and your ability to know how to use it in ways that, you know, keep you in energetic balance, but also, you know, you can share it in ways that enhance other people, enhance you without draining you. So the Virgo energy then comes in to teach you how to use discernment, and how to like almost take those lessons and apply them to follow your own light with the light of the Hermit. And the Seven of Wands here is that corridor between the victory and then the learning that Virgo comes to help us with, especially with our own thoughts. So the overarching theme here that's coming out is to do with protection, but it's to do with the protection of your life force, the protection of your sun, the protection of your solar plexus. Solar plexus is also the seat of your personal will. It is also the seat of any like shame programming that has occurred and has had an emotional effect on you. So shame is what, 22:22 on my clock, shame is what keeps us from accepting the fullness of who we are. Shame is what keeps us from accepting, you know, the lower aspects of self too. Shame is often the main barrier. And it's ultimately then shame that keeps us out of the ability to fully rise. Shame is one of those energies that, because it's like the lowest energy. It's the most dense emotional energy, making it the energy with the lowest vibration emotionally on the vibrational scale. So it is really difficult for us to heal from those energies and come into a place of full self-acceptance. And it's also really easy for beings to manipulate us when we are in states of shame. In other words, it's easier for someone to have control over our solar plexus or the decisions we make, because we kind of abandon our own personal will for the pursuit of other people's acceptance, you know, guidance. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting guidance for as long as it's just bringing confirmation to the guidance that you're already finding within. But I'm talking about people who look outside themselves for the blueprint on how to live, which will always take you into states of shame because nobody has that information but you. Challenge, the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords. This is Gemini energy, third decan of Gemini energy. In the challenge position, this is not being able to let go of a certain way of thinking. This is not being able to let go of a certain way of thinking. And now what they were just saying to me, the Seven of Wands, is also that Leo energy of pride that works against. So pride is a great thing to, let me get my vibrational scale out. Okay, so like I was saying before, shame is the lowest vibrating energy on the chart. Okay, pride is a little bit higher. Now, pride becomes dangerous only when you've climbed and you're living in these high states. And instead of allowing yourself to stay or go higher, you descend into pride and you lock yourself out by either staying there, or because you stay there and you don't budge, then you go lower. But pride is useful if you are stuck in shame, because you need to have a certain level of pride to break out of these lower energies and bust up into these energies of like love, joy, peace, and bliss. It's the same with anger. There's no energy that in and of itself is bad. There's just how are you going to use it to reach a higher vibration to then begin to stabilize that into a higher frequency. So if you your whole life have been shamed and trampled upon and you never stand up for yourself, you will stay stuck in shame. But if you get some fucking self-respect and a spine, and you start to look at these fucking assholes that keep on trying to shame you and keep you down, and you get fucking angry like you have every right to, and you start to have some pride about who you are and your value and your right to be respected, that ability to access the pride and the anger and to express it properly can break you out of that prison of shame. Okay, this is spiritual warfare energy, spiritual warfare teaching, because this is about shadow work also. However, where this is not going to work is if you are beyond living in states of shame, or not living in states of shame, but being kind of like victimized by others. You can start to victimize yourself. And what do I mean by that? Like, if your guides show you something, or if someone else shows you something, or if through an exchange you are being shown something that you need to change, or you need to take a look at, or you need to accept, but instead of going there, you decide to project or deflect. You are using pride, the energy of pride, which is that stubbornness and refusal to see something, and instead, shifting or redirecting the energy off of yourself. You are using pride to lock you out of the ability to go higher, because you refuse to see and access what it is you're being shown, where you need to go deeper, and instead you are making it about someone else. And oftentimes when we're making it about someone else, what we're then doing is we're taking the responsibility off of ourselves to do the work. And we are oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes we are taking on the role of like a victim. Like, no, this isn't me, this is them. And that can get us into trouble when we're not doing that in balance. Meaning that there are times where we need to fully own the fact that we've been victimized. But this thing that we're learning to do, learning how to master our own energy, means that we must learn how to master how long we stay in certain places mentally and emotionally, because staying somewhere too long stagnates us. Guidance, the King of Coins. So interesting, we got the Emperor and the King of Coins, and the King of Coins is the ultimate destination point in order to get to the Emperor. And what I'm getting with this message, it's almost like you're being challenged to walk the walk. It's almost like if you're being shown who you are divinely, then now start to be it. Be it in real time. And that doesn't mean, if you're being shown something like a supernatural ability that all of a sudden you're going to be able to fully embody it. But they're telling you to like embody the energy of knowing that that's what you have and that's who you are, because that again is the bridge to it being materialized. This is a tough message to like this message is expanding my own consciousness, and hence the reason why it's murkier to get through, if that makes sense. Those of you who channel might know what I mean when I say that. And I don't want to keep it too long because I'm tired. And I want to go rest myself in these energies. Let's see. Who wants to come through for us? Who wants to come through? Hilarion. Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. Divine healing. And then at the bottom we have Saint-Germain. Karma releasing. Move beyond drama. Create your own path. Make room for good energy. Commander Ashtar. Gaia. Earth connection. Be mindful of the earth. Come back to earth and stay grounded. This is the grounding in of energies that this is the grounding in of energies that you haven't had access to. Look at this, Commander Ash. I just said walk your talk. I said walk the walk and talk the talk, right? With the King of Pentacles. Look at the bottom of this card. Walk your talk. This is the energy of certain things that are coming back to you and coming back online that you haven't had access to since the previous golden age. And I've already been saying that, and this is just how it works. Like since the 8-8 portal, even with that 7 of Wands energy speaks of that too, because the 7 of Wands energy is a follow-up of receiving something through the 8-8 portal and now learning how to defend and protect it. Because the 8-8 portal occurs in the second decan of Leo. It's aligned with the 6 of Wands energy. This is the energy of someone's golden solar codes activating some kind of energy within their fields that has not been able to be activated since the previous golden age. And the reason it hasn't been able to be activated is because of the karmic nature of everything. And when I say the karmic nature of everything, I mean like how the matrix was designed to keep you in karmic cycles, how the fact that that was a reality fucked with the bandwidth of the planet and what we were able to access within the, our own consciousness because of the limited energy that was already on the planet because the planet was so dense. I'm talking about the karmic characters that contributed to keeping you asleep. This is a grand clearing away. You know how Mars comes in, and this is Scorpio energy. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. In the tarot, Mars is the Tower, and Pluto is the Judgment card. And I always will joke about Mars and Pluto energy because Mars is like the masculine aspect of destruction, of the energy of destruction, planetarily speaking. And then Pluto is the feminine aspect of that. And so Mars will come in and just want to blow shit up and keep it moving. Like, just take the action and go. Very, it can be very aggressive, masculine, straight energy in the sense that it's straight to the point and it delivers. Straight, no chaser. That's the Mars energy, right? But the Pluto energy has that like feminine touch. It likes to come in and it likes to, destroy, but it likes to destroy in a certain order in order to bring, because it knows it's also reconstructing. And I feel like this is the energy of someone who has been through, if this is your reading, you've been through so many tower moments of like things being blown up in order to clear the path for you and in order for, not only destruction to come, but the tower is also about the destruction or the tearing down that brings forth enlightenment. It's a destruction of things that are in the way of you being able to connect with the whole picture. I feel like if this reading is for you, you've gone through all of that, like the destruction of what you thought was your reality. Like the tearing down of your life, because that's what happens to all of us, right? Everything you thought was real is not. And, that's again, that hangman energy of like being able to see clearly because you realize everything's upside down and inverted. And then the towers come to bring further revelation. I feel like this is not that part of your journey anymore. I feel like, after everything must come down, then comes the sweeping away, then comes the cleaning up, and then the final sweeping away so that the new foundation can be set to be built upon. And whoever this reading is for, that's where you are. You're at this place of having been through so many, karmic wars and towers, and having done the work when the towers hit to clear out the energies and to connect with the ability to, rise out of the rubble kind of thing. And now is like the easier part of the cleanup is happening. But the easier part of the cleanup is happening almost to like make sure that the glass is clean. Like I keep on seeing like a really murky window and it's being cleaned of all of that build up. And then all of a sudden the glass is clear and you can see on the other side. And this is the grounding of... This is the clearing of the energy sets the foundation for the grounding of your divine truth, for that to now land, for it to hit. And so to go back full circle to the message that was coming through, some of the things, and this is a message that's been coming through for me in general, some of the things that are going to be revealed to you about who you are, it's going to blow your mind. Some of the things I've been picking up in people's tarot astrology, their personal tarot astrology, like their full rebirth reports, it's blowing my mind. Coming on here tonight and having to wade through these energies, the reason why it can be difficult is because I have to get past what it is I've been programmed into naturally and grab a hold of what is being shown to me, which is grander and wider than what I've known, and then try to convey it in a way that makes sense, because for most of us, this doesn't sound like anything that we probably knew was possible. And this is exactly the energy that my guides keep on, telling me we are being introduced to right now. We are being introduced to our own grandness and greatness and power and things that we've been told are fantasy, but they've always been our truth. And it's like this eclipse window is sweeping away so much shit on an energetic level that the gates within our own system, because remember I said your light body is like a series of gateways, are now going to be able to come into alignment with the original places where we were able to go and dock. And when I say dock, again, it's not physical, it's energetic, but the ability to connect our gateways to these gates that we haven't had access to from this state of being on earth for so long is what is unlocking our supernatural consciousness. I don't know how else to put this at this point. I just don't know. That's what's unlocking our supernatural consciousness and what we are being challenged to put to death through this Scorpio death portal so that we can rise from the phoenix is everything that told us that ain't true. Everything that programmed us out. And I mentioned this in the building. I mentioned this in the reading yesterday. It's like I remember as a child having these dreams about flying. I remember it. And I remember when I started to be bound in my dreams. I'm almost going to cry now. I don't even know why. I mean, I do, but I remember having these dreams where I'd be bound. And not only was I being stopped from flying, but it almost felt at times like I was being stopped from moving in my dreams. And then there were times when my voice was taken in dreams. And, the things that you are able to do, the things that we are able to do are all the things that they put in their movies to put us through secondary trauma, because our souls, our consciousness, all of those eyes that are all over you or are in your energy field, when it comes into contact with that information in a movie, it knows. It recognizes it as being something that your soul knows, connects to as a part of your reality. And it's secondary trauma because it's like when you take excuse me, wow. It's my fucking voice. It's like when you take somebody, and this goes back to the downloads I was getting that I was talking about in the reading yesterday about the dream path working. It's like when you tell somebody that you're going to do something or that they can do something and they're really excited about it, and the time comes where it's time for them to do it, and then you tell them, actually, forget about it. we were never going to do it. Like narcissists are great at this, right? They're great at this. What is it called? It's like a dangling carrot, where they try to draw you into doing something or believing something to get you to do what it is they want you to do, or even to just raise your hopes and your expectations, because some of them are just really fucking sadistic. And then when you are fully like in this place of expecting something, then they'll be like, oh, that's not what I meant, or, oh, you know, they'll completely dash your hopes. And it's a really traumatizing experience, especially when they do it time and time again, and you trust them every time. It's really, it's something, and it's like, it's almost like that energy of, like being taken somewhere and thinking you're going somewhere and then never arriving. It's like when you watch these movies, but then you're lied to and you're told that this is fantasy, and there's a part of you that connects with it. It's a form of gaslighting, but it also is something that creates more longing, and it creates despair in your soul, because it's like your soul recognizes it, even though they're programming your mind. And this is how they get you to be at war with self, because they program your mind away from your heart. They program your mind away from your soul. You get what I'm saying? Your soul is saying, oh my gosh, I recognize that. That feels familiar. And your mind is saying, that's not possible. That's just fiction. That's blah, blah, blah. That's a trauma, a soul trauma in and of itself. It's like, I think it was I forget when Avatar first came out. I didn't watch it at the time. But I think it was like right around the turn of the millennium, I want to say, maybe a few years after. And there was this thing where there were so many people who started to commit suicide after watching that movie. And that was because it was too much for their souls to take, you know? And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because I got downloads about that too, about how they use this as a suicide, as an unaliving portal. And I touched on that very briefly in what I was talking to you guys about on Sunday with that Golden Gate energy. It's all like, it's all coming together. But this Scorpio energy, I can't even begin to tell you some of the crazy things that they do with this energy, and they have done, to keep us out of alignment with our truth and our ability to connect with our supernatural gifts. I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm going to go. So I got a download the other day. I have no shame around the fact that I have struggled with depression from the time I was a kid, or what they said was depression. I don't believe it was depression at this point. And that's not to say that I don't believe depression is valid. But what I was going through was not that. Part of it was trauma. A big part of it was family trauma. And not just family trauma, but, schooling stuff, being bullied at school, racism, all manner of things. Anyway, when I hit a certain age and I was diagnosed with depression, I started to notice, and I would tell them this, and they try to make you feel as if you're crazy. You're already like struggling. You're sad as fuck and you hate this planet. And then they want to make you feel as if what you're experiencing isn't real and there's something wrong with you, which again is secondary trauma. It's a form of gaslighting also, especially if it's done with just no sense of empathy. I told many doctors this. I said, it's very weird. I said, whenever October comes around, towards the end of the month, I said, I always fall into, it's like I always start to feel like I'm falling. Everything begins to get blurry. And I said to them, it's almost like I'm living underwater. And not only did I say that, but listen to this. I used to have, before I started to have these episodes every October, which they then told me was seasonal affective disorder, and that I had a low-grade depression all year round, but then it was seasonally affected. So it wasn't seasonal affective disorder. It was just that I had depression all the time, and it's affected by the seasons. Whatever. Anyway, before I started to have these experiences, which I now know why, because of all of the ritual work. Before I started to have these experiences, I had 20/20 vision in one eye, and I had better than perfect vision in another eye. Within a matter of like 2 or 3 years of this, my vision descended so terribly, just out of nowhere. Like, how is that even possible? And I told doctors, I said, it's very weird, but every time I go into a depressive episode, my vision gets blurry. My vision gets worse. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out why. I was having all of these experiences, and when I shared them with professionals, they acted as if I was crazy. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. When you're going through trauma, it's hard enough. And then when you deal with people who gaslight you, it's a whole secondary trauma. And this is what many of us have been dealing with, even in watching some of these movies. This is what they were dealing with the Avatar movie, like people being exposed to what their soul recognizes, but having their minds fucked with and told that this hell on earth that they created was life. And there's something, because I'm going to end this now, there's something about a shift that's happening to clear that. And I will get into this in the tarot astrology eclipse reading that I do, because this eclipse, what it's doing for us in terms of clearing out systemic and institutionalized fuckery. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But anyway, I hope I didn't go off on too many tangents. And I hope whatever tangent I went off on, that it helped you. Because that's why I kind of do it. Because a lot of the time, some of the best information I get from readings is when readers start to share about their own experiences, because then I'm just like, wow, that makes sense. That's a bit of my puzzle too, etc., etc. So anyway, I'm sending you guys so much love, joy, peace, patience, focus, all of that beautiful stuff. Information on how to work with me or my services will always be in the description box below. My Substack information is in the information box below. A link to all of the articles that have been up for free are on the community board. And I think that's it. Yes. Oh, thank you to all of you who donate to my work. And if you would like to do that, if you would like to be generous, that information, the information for my PayPal is also in the description box below. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I wish you guys a beautiful, 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 beautiful eclipse. Everything might feel a little bit crazy and shaky right now. But what it is accomplishing is, I don't even have words for what it is I've been intuiting, is on the other side of a lot of this. So hold on to that. Be very, very aware of where your attention flows right now. Okay? So I'll see you again soon. Until next time, be well.